In this video, we will rank the generations of the BMW M5, based on their performance and character. At number 6 on our list, is the BMW F10 M5. The F10 may be the outgoing generation of the M5, but it is still powered by the same 4.4-liter twin-turbo S63 V8 engine. When it was new, it still produced a healthy 553 horsepower and 502 pound-feet of torque going to the rear wheels. Through either a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, or a rarefied 6-speed manual for the North American market. The DCT was much quicker with a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 3.7 seconds, while the manual model took around 4.4 seconds. Both transmissions are far off the pace of the current M5, which benefits from all-wheel drive traction. In 2014, BMW added a competition package, which upped the output to 567 horsepower and changed the bushings, springs, dampers, and anti-roll bars. Power was increased again in 2015 to 591 horsepower. Number 5. The E34 M5. Released in Europe in August of 1988, was easily mistaken for a humble 525i. It received a discrete body kit that added deeper bumpers on both ends, and M-System alloy wheels with a built-in fan that channeled cooling air to the brakes. In Europe, the second generation M5 went on sale with a 3.5-liter, straight-six engine tuned to deliver 315 horsepower at a screaming 6,900 RPM and 265 pound-feet of torque at 4,750 RPM. European spec cars received a 340 horsepower, 3.8-liter 6 in 1992, but American spec models carried on with the smaller engine. To comply with emissions regulations, the 6 spun the rear wheels through a 5-speed manual transmission, though BMW replaced it with a 6-speed manual later in the production run. Even today, the first impression you get after slipping behind the wheel of an E34 generation M5 is that it's well built. The materials are nice to look at and touch, and everything the driver operates feels solid and analog. At number 4, we have the BMW E28 M5. BMW's breakthrough executive saloon, the E28 BMW 5 Series, debuted in 1981. The E28 was initially produced with a combination of relatively quiet 4- and 6-cylinder engines, designed by renowned BMW designer Klaus Luth. In 1984, the company presented the very first M5 at the Amsterdam Auto Show. The M88 3 engine is the M5's most valuable asset. The M88 was originally intended for use in the BMW M1 supercar, but it was closely connected to the engine used in Group 5 racing, where it produced up to 887 horsepower. BMW's M division replaced the M1's Fisher fuel injection system with a Bosch Motronic system for the M5, increasing the M1's power output by 10 horsepower. The final numbers for the M5 were 278 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 251 pound-feet of torque. These figures may appear modest in comparison to today's supercars, but the M5 was more powerful than the Ferrari 328 and its Tipo V8 engine. Number 3. The E60 M5. This could have been number 1. If only it was a little more reliable. The BMW E60 M5 was introduced in 2004, with a V10 engine and 7-speed paddle shift transmission, linking the car with the BMW Sauber Formula 1 program. The E60 M5 was the world's first production sedan to use a V10 gasoline engine. This generation of the M5 was also built in the E61 touring body style, which was only sold in Europe. The official 0 to 60 acceleration figure is 4.7 seconds for the sedan, however, magazine tests have recorded figures down to 4.1 seconds. It was the fastest 4-door sedan available at the time of its introduction. Top speed is electronically restricted to 155 miles per hour, but could be raised to 190 with the optional M Drivers package. Number 2. The F90 M5. The F90 is based on the G35 series and features an all-wheel drive xDrive powertrain for the first time, making it the first M5 that isn't rear-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive system, on the other hand, favors the rear wheels. If the electronic stability control is disabled, it can also be set to only transmit power to the rear wheels. The automatic transmission is a ZF8 speed and 0 to 211.1 seconds. In imperial measurements, 60 miles per hour is reached in 2.9 seconds and 100 miles per hour in 6.6 seconds. The top speed is limited to 250 km/h, and the delimited top speed is 305 km per hour, with the optional M driver's package. Despite the added weight of the all-wheel drive components, the weight of the F90 M5 is approximately 40 kilos lower than the previous generation M5. At number 1. The BMW E39 M5. This is considered, by most car enthusiasts, as the best M5 ever. The price of this vehicle is starting to skyrocket. Introduced in 1998 at the Geneva Motor Show, the E39 generation of the M5 was the first M5 to use a V8 engine, resulting in an increase in power output to 294 kilowatts or 400 PS. It is also the first M5 to use aluminum front suspension components and a multi-link rear suspension. Production began in October 1998. Production totaled 20,482 cars, from 1999 to 2003. Unlike its predecessors, the M5 was produced on the same assembly line as the regular 5 Series models in Germany. The official performance figures are 0 to 60 acceleration time of 4.8 seconds and an electronically limited top speed of 250 km per hour or 155 miles per hour. In testing, an unrestricted M5 reached a top speed of over 300 km per hour or 186 miles per hour. The E39 M5 recorded a Nürburgring lap time of 8 minutes and 20 seconds. The M5 received the September 2000 facelift for the 2001 model year, at the same time as the standard E39 models. Changes included halogen corona rings, in headlights often called angel eyes, LED taillights, and various interior upgrades. The mechanical specification was unchanged. For the subsequent 2 model years, changes were limited to the addition of new exterior colors, from September 2001, and the upgrade to a DVD-based navigation system from September 2002. Production of a touring wagon/estate E39 M5 model was evaluated by BMW, and at least one prototype was developed in titanium silver with a black exclusive leather interior. However, the touring did not reach production, due to financial considerations. Which M5 do you think should be number 1? Comment down below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.